see if it works. Okay, it says we are
Says
live.
it's live. Let's see if anybody give people a chance to log in.
Yeah, maybe I'll go to
join us.
Let's see if it actually says. Oh, somebody else is live at the same time as we are. Linda.
Oh yeah, they were doing their Step Right Up-a-thon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Christy. Hello. Christy is here. Yay.
Can you? Okay. See, now now I can't see the chat.
Yeah. Can you do it on your phone, or are you filming with your phone?
No, I'm on my laptop. So how did you do it on your phone? What did you just join the link?
Yeah, I just went on your channel basically and watched it, but I just muted
Oh, okay.
so that I could see the comments, but it wouldn't interfere with the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that right now.
The hungry bookworm is here. Hello.
Oh.
We're just waiting a couple of minutes to see who else is going to pop on before we get started.
Oh.
Drinking my mule. Berna is here. Hello.
I look really grainy again.
Are we what?
I said I look really grainy again.
Oh.
Sorry about that. It's my internet connection.
That's all right. As long as we can hear your voice. I've been noticing in the last two videos I've done with people, and I'm drinking coffee, or in this case, a Moscow Mule, I never take the tag off the bottom of my mugs.
Yeah.
So there's always mug crap on the bottom.
I do the same thing.
Sticker things on the bottom.
Oh, Summer's here. Yeah. Hey, Summer.
Oh, hi.
I was just saying that my image is really grainy, and we were having the same issue last week, and I know it has to do with my internet connection. So sorry about that.
If she gets kicked off, we'll get her back on.
Yeah, I'm going to get kicked off probably because it happened just about 10 minutes ago, right, Rainey?
Yeah, when we were doing our test.
Yeah.
But she got on pretty darn quick, so hopefully. Oh, I know, Christy, I am very close to 900. It's exciting. Maybe when, I don't know, what should I do if, we'll go with if I get to 1,000 subscribers. Should I do like...
I think you should have like a live party.
That'd be fun. Ooh, yeah.
People do Q&As a lot, which, I mean, you know, I like Q&As, but I think a live party might be.
It would be fun. I could kind of do a live Q&A that way.
Yeah, that would be really good. A live Q&A.
Huh, I'll have to do. Oh, there's a gnat. Gosh. Some kind of bug is attacking me.
Okay, I'm glad you can hear me.
Okay. So should we have 7 people. So should we get going and start?
I say yes. I say let's go ahead and start.
Okay. Alrighty. So we thought that we would just reintroduce ourselves. I mean, you probably know us already, but if you're watching later on. So I am Rainey, and obviously you're watching this on my channel. And this is my first Nora Roberts and my first paranormal romance. So it was a very interesting experience. So let me tell you. But all right.
I'm Angie, and my channel is Literary Labors. I have read paranormal romance before. I was trying to think of what I'd read, and I know I have read some. And yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Yeah, we have Laura, Debbie, Nancy Nunn. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so what were we going to start off with, Angie? I already forget.
We were going to do a romance question.
Oh, yes. And I think the one that I thought would be fun is, being that this is like my first time with paranormal romance, like, has anybody else had a lot of experience with paranormal romance, or what is your favorite subgenre of romance if you're a romance reader? Because like you have the main like romance genre, but you have all this other little things that I'm learning about. And yeah, I'm trying to decide which kind I like. So, what do you all like?
Now,
Or
like I said, I have read paranormal romance before, and I was trying to think of who I had read. Um, I think I used to read paranormal romance more like in my 30s. I was really into it then in my early 30s. And like I don't know if we talked about this last time, the Sookie Stackhouse series, would that be considered
yeah,
romance, an urban I know it's urban fantasy romance. Does that fall under the romance
I,
category?
I don't think I've ever read them or that before.
I would say they're definitely more urban fantasy. I'd say less romance, more urban fantasy. But I also read a vampire series by a woman whose name I don't remember. I'm trying to look it up on Goodreads right now. Oh, Sherilyn Kenyon. I don't know if she's paranormal romance.
I've
Yeah, I
heard
think
that.
she's paranormal romance.
Okay. Oh yes, Christy, I have read Twilight before, so I guess this isn't my first paranormal romance. Oh yes, I was a teenager back in the sexy vampire stage of life. So, oh
Yeah, I read Twilight in my early 20s, and I really like the books. I have to say, I know like it's really popular to hate them and to hate Stephanie Meyer for, her beliefs and things that she did
right,
apparently that I'm not really um, up to date on. But I really enjoyed the series, and like my thinking is, um, I feel like Stephanie Meyer brought a whole or introduced reading to a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't have really read much. And I think
yeah,
anytime an author can do that, bring reading to a group of people, I mean, I think that's always a good thing. No matter, regardless of what we think of her beliefs or, how corny her books are now. I mean,
yeah,
they brought pleasure to a lot of people.
yeah. Because I feel like too, when we were that age reading it, they were geared towards our generation, and I feel like none of us at the time thought anything of it. And
Hmm.
at that age, you are like a lot of girls are kind of like very clingy and get obsessed with their boyfriends and stuff like that. So,
Yes. Hey, in fact, when I was in high school, um, when I moved here to Texas, one of the girls in my high school was featured on an Oprah episode. And this was weird because I think at that time Oprah was kind of moving from more like talk show, like generic talk show to more like serious issues, serious topics. But she
yeah.
had a girl from my high school who was obsessed with her boyfriend. And I think the whole episode was about obsession with people. And this
Okay.
girl, I remember on the episode, she even had a napkin from when she and her boyfriend went on their first date. And it had a mustard stain on it. And the boy rubbed his lips. He cleaned his lips off with the napkin. And she kept that napkin. And she was obsessed. I mean, it was all about being obsessed with boyfriends. So yes, definitely high
Oh,
school
yeah.
girls.
So I think like reading it as an adult, we're like, oh no, this is horrible. But then like when you're a teenager, you can kind of relate to that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kind of what I
I think that's accurate.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was about a vampire, so it was clearly a little more overboard than normal. But oh man. So let's see. I'm just reading the comments. Laura says that she does think that the Sookie Stackhouse series is romance.
Yeah. Okay.
Or wait, is that what she said? Or was that another comment that I missed? Oh, I think that was another comment that I missed. But yeah, somebody said that they think that that is considered paranormal romance.
Oh, I think that was Summer. I'd say yes about Sookie. It seemed like romance to me. I really enjoyed them. Um, yeah. So yeah, Summer
Yeah.
says Sookie Stackhouse would be considered romance. Definitely
Okay.
had a lot of. I mean, we talked about it last time. It definitely had a lot of open door.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Uh,
Ew. As did this one.
Bernice Berna says her favorite genre is historical, and I would say that's probably my favorite too. I
Yeah.
definitely started with historical, and
Hmm.
I read mostly historical. Now I've gotten a little bit more into contemporary, but definitely historical.
Yeah.
What
I,
used to be called bodice rippers. I don't know if they still. I don't know
yeah.
if that. I don't think anybody uses that term anymore, but
I think they do actually,
do
because
they?
I my friend Sarah from the Bookish Knitter, she's primarily a romance reader, and she'll use that term just to
Oh,
describe.
okay.
So I think probably the older generation maybe still uses that term, but it's still around on BookTube apparently.
Okay, yeah, I just have not heard anybody use it, and I've used it a couple of times, and I thought, I wonder if people are going to get offended that I'm calling them bodice strippers. Since I mean, also there's like a new generation of writers who, even though they're still historical romance, uh, have different, like a different set of values, a different set of uh, topics that they write about now. It's not
Okay.
all just about.
Let's see.
Oh, Julie says she DNF'd the new Twilight.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to read it.
I wasn't sure that I cared. I I was Team Jacob, so I don't really care about Edward's point of view.
I think I was Team Edward. I was Team Edward, especially after the movies. I was Team Robert Pattinson.
See, I was Team Jacob because of the movies.
So you were Team Taylor Lautner.
Yeah. And probably gross that I was because he was a really but
Yeah,
I was part of the group that in the movie theater when he went from little boy to man.
man.
Yeah, he took off his shirt. There was an audible gasp, and about like all the moms and everybody that was watching it, and we all just started cracking up in the movie theater. It was like because we all just gasped at like how Taylor Lautner had grown up.
No, see, I was always more like about the makeup, like, oh, what makeup is she wearing? I'm the person who went and bought all of the makeup that Kristen Stewart wore in book one, or in the first movie. I bought
Yeah.
the eyeshadow, the lipstick,
Huh.
because I wanted to wear that. Yeah, so I was more about the makeup
Oh, okay. It's never.
at
I
the
don't know.
time.
Yeah. I feel like I want to be more into makeup, but I'm also too lazy.
Yeah, it's funny. Right before I got into BookTube, I was like into makeup YouTube for years and years. I had
Mhm.
huge collections of makeup, most of which I would never wear. I just bought it because it was, a new thing. And
Okay.
then I found BookTube, and that's kind of like what kicked me out of makeup YouTube and into BookTube.
Okay. Let's see. I'm reading Christie's
Yeah.
stuff.
She says,
Anyone?
uh,
Aya Seaton? Anya Seaton?
no,
Mm-mm.
I've heard of her, but I've never read her.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, and I have not
Catherine.
read the Vampire Academy, but I kind of want to. I don't know. Is that? I don't know. I feel like I've heard of it, but I can't think of other
Is that a
people.
YA series, The Vampire Academy? Is that YA?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's why.
Bella's clothing. I like Bella's clothing. After
Oh yeah.
watching, I think it was movie one, she had like a hunter green jacket. I've
Oh yeah.
wanted a hunter green jacket ever since, and I finally got one like last year. Finally living my dreams.
Your Twilight dreams. Now we just need to find you an Edward.
Oh, yes. Please, Rainy, get
Okay.
on, get on that.
Okay. If I could do that for you, I wouldn't be a bitter single woman. Okay.
So did you say what you're drinking, Rainy?
Oh, I am having a Moscow Mule because I had this much vodka in a bottle that I'm not even sure why I ever bought vodka. But it was like this much. I'm like, what can I do with this? I'll make a Moscow Mule.
Is it is yours good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's supposed to have lime juice, but I only had lemon juice. So I don't know. I don't know if that disqualifies it as being a Moscow Mule now, but oh well.
Yeah, I like Moscow mules, but I can't have alcohol because of
Oh,
my heartburn issues. And I shouldn't be having soda, caffeine, but I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper from Panera. That's what I'm.
Nice.
That's what I'm drinking.
Oh well, you gotta live a little sometimes.
Yeah, I need caffeine.
An age. Wait, let's see. Hold on. I see Laura saying an age appropriate one, right, Rainy? But I don't know. Oh yes, Vampire Academy is YA. It has an age gap romance, which is one of my favorites. Yeah, okay,
Age
well, it's appropriate.
age gap romance. Like, does that mean like there's a like a what do you call it? Spring winter romance? Is that what that means? An age gap romance?
I think that means like the man is way way older than the woman or something like that.
Oh, you
Or
like that, Christy? See, that kind of bothers me. I think it's because of my age. I'm like, what's wrong with a 40-year-old woman? Hmm?
that's
Are we not good enough for you?
we are so good at
I
30.
can still bear children.
I don't want to bear children,
No, neither
so
do I.
come my
I
way if
actually don't.
you. oh yes, Laura. I got your reference to Jacob. I think he was. I think in reality, he was age appropriate for me. Like Taylor Lautner was an adult, but Jacob not so much.
Yeah, because the actors were definitely older.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Robert Pattinson right now is like isn't he in his like mid-30s maybe,
Oh really? Oh,
possibly?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, Tia's here. I missed that Tia was here. Hello.
Yeah,
And
I
Kim,
do like.
wave to you, Kim, but I don't know if you saw me. My friend.
Oh, older woman, younger man. Yeah, Tia did say age gap could also be older woman, younger man,
Yeah.
which I I, I don't feel comfortable with that for me personally. I'd feel like a mom,
Yeah, I know.
even though I've never been a mom. I've never been a mom, but I feel kind of like, like,
I feel
stop
like a lot of
speeding.
yeah.
Did you eat your vegetables today?
Oh my gosh, I did that to my ex-boyfriend. I oh okay, so he still does not know that this had ever happened, but he didn't like to eat vegetables. So I literally went online and looked for how to hide vegetables in food for kids.
So you made him food
Yes,
where you hid the
I
vegetables?
made us enchiladas with zucchini shredded up inside of it. And he literally loved it. It was the best thing that I'd ever made for him. And he still to this day has no clue that I put zucchini in it.
That you would hide his
Yeah.
vegetables.
I was like, I can't believe that I'm doing this right now. I'm looking up how oh, oh, good times. Good times. Oh man. All right, let's see.
Oh, Christy says she likes age gap because her husband is 7.5 years older than me. Yeah,
Oh,
that's not. I think that's pretty.
yeah. I don't
You
think
know,
that's a horrible age gap, though.
yeah, no.
I have an aunt and uncle that are 11 years older than each other, I think. And actually, one of my best friends, her husband is 11 years older than her. They got married later, but still,
Yeah,
yeah.
like 20 or more is weird to me. No,
Yeah.
whether it's an older woman with a younger man or or an older man with a younger woman. 20 seems odd.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
As long as you're both adults.
Cozy reading with Quaker Cats. What is her actual name, Angie?
Summer.
Summer. I guess Summer says the next guy needs to like veggies.
Yeah.
It would make it easier on me because, at least with dinner, I'd like him to eat a salad. And where I'm from, we even put fries on salad, so it doesn't even have to be that healthy.
It is a potato.
Yeah, that's true. It's a potato. It's fine. Oh man. So should we? What time is it? I don't even know.
119. We
Yeah.
still have about 10 minutes before we're going to get into the book.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you said we were gonna like do a half an hour's worth of.
Oh, yeah, and I did want to ask, like, what is everybody reading right now? I'll get my books. I have them right here. I'm currently reading. I'm trying to finish up my books for September, and I think I have about 8 books still in my September TBR, and I know I'm not going to get to them, but I am trying to finish up America's Most Haunted Neighborhood by David Domine, and I want to start rereading The Grey Friar by Clan Susan Griffith. This is steampunk vampire
Ooh.
fiction. So yeah, what is that? What is everybody trying to finish up before the end of September?
The only thing that I have now, because Shake Tube is done. I have we posted our last video yesterday, so that's done. Um, but I still have a buddy read with Amanda from her Pacific Northwest Washington life, and we are reading The Strong Man and the Mermaid.
That's the
By,
Pennsylvania book.
it's a second one in her Nora series. I don't know, but there's a title to it, but it has Nora in it. But it is. I really like it so far. It's really different from the first one after the fog. It's written between times, so it's kind of like it's a flashback kind of a thing. And it's set mostly in 1910. And there's an actual real baseball player who was born in Denora named Stan Musial, and so it follows his parents, and who one his father was a immigrant from Poland, and his mother was a first generation American Czechoslovakian parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the style, and because it jumps back and forth between the two, and then it goes to the future in 2019, and yeah, so far I really like it. But because I've had all these other commitments, I've kind
Mm-hmm.
of fallen.
Yeah. Now,
You
is that author from that area?
know what? I don't think so. Which I want to research more. Like, why would she even
Choose
do?
that area to write about. Yeah.
I mean, I do know like Pittsburgh and that area, this whole like Western Pennsylvania area, was really integral in the
Uh
um,
huh.
steel making, and like at the turn of the century, it was kind of what really started America's you know building buildings and like the high
Mm-hmm.
rises like that because they
Yeah.
started
And it made a lot of millionaires
yeah,
too.
right, yeah, so I can kind of see that, but it's just kind of it's interesting to me that somebody that's not from that area would write about the
Right.
Nora places.
Yeah.
Because definitely now it is not a tourist attraction.
No, but I do want to go. One of my favorite books by John Bellairs. In the book The Letter, the Witch and the Ring, I think. No, 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 not that one. I don't remember. The characters drive through Western Pennsylvania,
Oh, really?
and they talk about all the farms and kind of like the scenery, and just that makes me want to go. Just kind of like drive through Western Pennsylvania, do a little.
At me. Yay.
Yes.
I don't have a spare bed at the moment, but you can sleep on my couch.
I don't mind sleeping on couches.
Okay. Oh, Tia is finishing The Night Gardener. I loved that book. That was good. And The Midnight Library. Ooh, what's that about? That
Is that
sounds.
the one by Morgenstern? Is that Morgenstern?
Oh, is it? Huh. Ooh, Laura, where's your mom's family from? Debbie is reading a book called September by Rosamund Pilcher.
Mm.
I've never read anything by Rosamund Pilcher. I need to pick something up. Are you liking it,
Mm.
Debbie?
I had September on my fall TBR last year, and I never got to it.
Oh, Matt Haig. So the Midnight Library. That's a middle grade then. Matt Haig's a middle grade one, right? Oh, I think I do remember you hauling that or talking about it in your September TBR. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Christy wants to finish up Rebecca. I read Rebecca years ago. In fact, I read it in high school. I didn't read a lot of like adult fiction in high school, but that was one that I read in high school, and I remember really enjoying it. And I read it again, I think, in college. I wanted to reread it this month, but since we're doing My Cousin Rachel for the Fall Into Reading Challenge, and that's one that I haven't read, I went with My Cousin Rachel instead. But yeah, I know a lot of people are reading Rebecca this season.
Mhm. Yeah, I read it in college. And I actually had like a mass market paperback copy of it from college. And I got rid of it in one of my hauls. And then I started seeing it pop back up in booktube. And I was like, oh, I should get another to read it, like a nice
Yeah,
second. But I'm gonna see how My Cousin Rachel fares before I delve
yeah. I
in.
hope I like it. I hope I
Yeah,
enjoy it.
I think
Yeah, Summer, huh? Summer is reading Bless Me Ultima by Rodolfo Anaya. I read that one 2 years ago, back when I used to read like serious literature. I don't remember anything about it.
let's see. Oh, nice. Debbie is reading things for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. Good job. I wish I was getting
Oh,
farther. When I did my September TBR, I was like, I think I'm gonna try to fill up the entire board every month. Why did I even think that was possible?
did you say that in your announcement video? Because I remember. I think I
Yeah,
remember that.
I did. But
You were really ambitious.
I know I don't know
I'm
why.
gonna fill up the board every month.
And maybe I mean, if I was doubling up, maybe I could. But I was trying not to double up. So then I was like, I can't read this many books in a month. I don't know why I say things on my videos, and then I'm like, well, now I feel like I have to do them.
Well, it's
When
like
I,
whenever I post a monthly TBR, like mine have like 30 plus books on them, and I'm like, nobody believes this. I don't believe it. And then I feel guilty when I can't get to all 30 books. But I'm like, well, but part of the fun is just adding. It's like a shopping cart,
yeah.
like when you were window shopping and you imagine everything you'd like, but then, you know, it's money,
Right.
so you don't buy it. This is kind of the same way, but with books.
Oh, oh goodness. Debbie said she thought the same thing when I did my September TBR. I'm like, how can you possibly read all those books? I don't know, Debbie. I was just,
Some people can,
I
you
know,
know.
and well, and I mean, if they were all shorter, I think I was thinking, I'll add all these Shakespeare things that I'm reading, and I probably should have done that, but I only ended up reading the plays that I was doing, so I didn't even read multiple other Shakespeare things. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I only got to Romeo and Juliet, even though I had Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet, but Romeo and Juliet is the only one I managed
and
to
Hamlet
read.
is one of the longest plays, I believe, if not the longest.
Ah.
So yeah, I mean it was very interesting. I was glad that I reread it because it's been years, but yeah. We are all so ambitious with our TBRs because I know we're all excited at the beginning of the month, and then it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody like I know whenever I watch people's TBRs, like I never go like you're not gonna read all of those books, liar. Like I never think that in my head. I just have fun watching people's TBRs, but whenever I film mine, then I'm like, people are gonna be so disappointed that I didn't read all of these books.
I know.
It's like I don't think anybody really
No, no,
notices or really cares.
yeah. Nobody remembers by the time October
Yeah.
comes. They don't care what we're doing, really. Oh, jeez. Oh man. Okay. Well, it is 2:30 now. So should we actually talk about
Yeah,
which?
you want to announce our October read,
Oh
Rainy?
yeah, yeah. Let me talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna get the get
Yeah,
the.
so in case you need to leave because you don't want to hear spoilers, or yeah, you need to leave for whatever reason, Rainy's going to go ahead and announce our October read.
Yes. Okay, so I decided that because a lot of us are doing Victober and focusing on Victorian reads, and because a lot of those Victorian reads are very long, I was going to pick a novella with a Victorian theme. So, oh gosh, whoop, hello. I don't know if you can see that. I'm
It's right
going with Lost Letters, a Victorian Romance by Mimi Matthews. So you can get this on Scribd, or there's an audiobook version of it.
And I think Kindle Unlimited might also have it
Oh,
for
okay.
really cheap, I think.
Oh, okay, good. Cool. So yeah, I thought it's only like a 5 hour audiobook. So I mean I don't know if it's gonna be a very long discussion, but but I read Tia had read Holiday by Gaslight by her, and I read it for the Christmas in July-a-thon, and I really enjoyed it, and I liked, and it seems like Mimi Matthews does mostly
Hmm.
Victorian historical romances. So I thought, well, that'd be good since we're doing paranormal romance this time, and since everybody's thinking Victorian literature for next month, and it won't be spooky, but that's all right. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll be spooky. Doubt it. 'Cause, hey, but since we're doing a spooky book for the Fall into Reading Challenge, I figured we could focus on Victorian for this challenge. So, but has anybody else ever read any Mimi Matthews? I really liked. I've only ever read the one thing, but I really liked it.
I haven't, but we did talk about how I want to read Gentleman. Is it Gentleman Jim Rainey?
Yeah, and I don't think it's out yet because I think I. Oh yeah, because I tried to get it on NetGalley and I was denied. So, so yeah, I don't think it comes out till maybe next month, maybe. So
Yeah, and we'll probably do our live show near the end of the month again, right?
yeah, yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Normally we would have done it on a Saturday, but there was another book club going on yesterday that
Yeah,
we
at
had.
the same time that we
Yeah,
were gonna plan ours.
so
Yeah,
we'll
and
try.
I know it's hard because there's so many live shows going on, and
Yeah,
it's hard not to plan at one at the same time
uh,
as another.
get stuff out for this for next month. We kind of lost track of ourselves this month. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, it's been a busy month.
Yeah. So, but let's see. Okay. Oh, so Tia says Lost Letters is so good. So that's good. Let's see. Oh, yes, I can show that one again. Sorry. Debbie asked if I can show it again. Oh, where did all wait? I just got the iOS 14 thing, and it screws with the way my pictures are. Okay, can you see that? There you go, Debbie. I love that cover. I feel like I'm going to be reading this while wearing a corset. Because why not?
That'll be your.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get a hold of a corset, or are you
Well,
still?
steampunk corsets that my friend gave me.
Mhm.
So I haven't actually ordered another one yet, but I'm going to hopefully now that like my schedule is a little bit calmer, I'm going to go on and buy a bunch of things. Because I have to buy yarn for knitting projects for Christmas, and I need to research corsets and see if I actually want to spend that kind of money. Um, and although you can buy like cheap corsets that are like just for costumes, which is
Right.
probably, but um, but yeah, then I'm kind of like, well, do I want a corset that would go under my clothing, or do I want one that you can see? Because if I'm spending that kind of money, wouldn't I want a fancy corset? I don't know. So
I'd
uh,
say one that you could see so that you could use it for multiple costumes.
yeah, that's what I thought. So it's probably gonna have to be like white or black to go with things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll have to do some research. But yeah, so I'm gonna be spending all kinds of money next month. Yay! After I just got my living room floors done. Yay! Oh, let's see. Okay. They're from, oh, yeah, Burgettstown. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of close to me. That's probably like hour and a half from me. I think that's where a lot of the concerts are held. I think there's a pavilion there that it goes through all kinds of name changes, so I don't even know. It used to be the Starlight Amphitheater, but I think that's where all the big concerts happen. Well, that aren't in the stadiums, but if they're like in a amphitheater type thing, I think it's in Burgettstown. Is where that is. So yeah, that is kind of close to me.
Julie says you can have your own version of corset ripping book reading.
Oh, I could. We don't know about that, but okay. Oh my. Okay, so let's on that note, let's talk about Midnight Bayou. So Angie, tell us
My
what you thought.
thoughts? Well,
Yes.
I was pretty disappointed. This was definitely not my favorite. I was a lot more interested in Lucian and Abby's story than Lena and Declan. I would have preferred had Midnight Bayou been entirely about Lucian and Abigail's love story. I wanted to hear more about. Obviously, I know how they met, but I wanted to hear more about how their relationship developed, and just like the encounters they had there in the hall.
Mm,
And yeah, I wanted to hear more about their story and less about Declan and Lena.
yeah. I kind of felt the same way. I mean, I liked Declan. I mean I really actually very much enjoyed Declan's character. But I didn't really care about their relationship really.
Mhm.
Um and Lena was not like my favorite. I generally don't like the women characters that try to like hold the guys off and like you're too good for me or whatever. Like I generally don't I can't feel for those women as much. But I mean, I know it happens, but it's just they don't endear themselves to me, I guess.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Lena. Lena was not my favorite. I didn't like the way she'd get angry a lot for no reason.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yes,
girl, calm down. I know you're not supposed to say that to women anymore, but at some time there were times when I was just like, okay, that he didn't do anything, or he's not doing anything underhanded. And I know she had trust issues because of her mom and the boyfriend she had at 16 years of age, but it's like that was years ago. And yeah, you guys, like she said at one point, he was 16, we probably would have ended the relationship anyway. But I just didn't like how she would snap at like really benign things that didn't mean anything.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, and I do have to say, I like the setting because I love anything set in New Orleans or around New Orleans. I like the whole idea of renovating a house. I like the idea of the haunted house.
yeah,
And I like the times when Declan was talking about, or when they were talking about what Declan was doing to the house. All of that was really interesting, which is why I ended up giving it 3 stars, even though I didn't care for the main storyline. Um, but yeah, it had a lot of good things going for it. Just it was I didn't care for the main storyline.
yeah. Tia says that there is a TV movie with Jerry O'Connell in it. Ooh, I might.
Yes, I wanted to watch it. I was actually going to ask Rainey if you wanted to do like a watch along, but this weekend was so busy for me that I just wasn't going to have time. But yeah,
Me
I
too.
wanted to.
Yeah, that would have been fun though. I kind of wondered though. I didn't really get a chance to even look up if there was a TV movie for it, but I was like, wow, how would they do this? Because of the like basically the big trigger warning at the very beginning
Yes.
of it. I was like, oh wow, that was like intense right off the bat.
Yeah, and normally like scenes like that don't really get to me, just because I can, I can kind of like remove myself because it's their characters. But this one was really hard, and I don't know what it was about it, but it was really like this one definitely. I even needed a trigger warning for that first scene because it was intense. It
And there
was
was no
bad.
wasn't really a lot of setup for it either. It just kind of
Right.
happened. So I maybe that's why it was so hard because you didn't really even get to know the characters yet, and then
Maybe.
just happened, and you're like, holy cow, what's happening? What like wait, but then like she's dead already. So then it's like, what are we? Where are we going from here? You know. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be an interesting. Berna, what didn't you like about the writing style?
And she said Declan was too possessive. He was
Yeah,
definitely he had like an obsessive streak,
yeah,
I think.
that
And I
bothered
think
me.
that's kind of the way he was written too, right? I mean, they did say like he's very passionate about the things he liked, like renovating his house, getting Lena, but yeah, he definitely did have a possessive streak.
Yeah, like I don't feel like it's ever a good idea. Like telling her you love her early on is fine, but it's probably not a good idea to just be like, so when we get married, I'm going to buy you a ring. This is going to happen. Like,
Yeah, and
okay.
especially buying those rings, buying one, I thought they were really tacky sounding. Interlocking ruby heart rings. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
simple. Simple is best. Go simple. So I couldn't
Okay.
get the like the tackiness out of. And I'm sorry if anybody thought they sounded pretty. I'm really sorry. They just kind of. I'm just thinking, like Claire's jewelry. So. But
Yeah.
yeah, buying her the rings after she's said several times, like, I'm not going to marry you, or this is just a really casual thing we're having. That was
Mhm.
a little.
But I feel like too, if I don't know, if that were my relationship and one person was like really into getting married and the other one was like, I just want casual sex, then maybe that's not the relationship you should be in. Like, maybe find
Yeah.
another does want does want
Hmm.
marriage. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
rather than trying to make it happen, because if
yeah,
the other person doesn't want to get married, and then you eventually coerce them or convince them to, that's not a very good. It's not
right.
a stable setup.
Yeah. But I also like part of me was like, well, it's it's nice to have a man that knows what he wants, and and the fact that it is marriage and not the you know
Yeah.
like it was kind of nice in a way to have, because normally in most things it's the girl who really wants to get married and not the guy, so it was kind of nice in that respect, and it kind of made me be a little bit more okay with the other things, but but probably in real life I probably would have been like, no, God, nobody, you need to leave. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like if that was your friend, and if your friend came to you for advice,
yeah,
if it was, you'd probably say, "Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's really that into you.
right, yeah,
Maybe move on."
yeah. So yeah, but Remy never did that to him.
Remy seemed kind of like a useless. Just
He did.
like,
I mean,
there was no point to him.
yeah, I did like his relationship with his fiance. That was cute, but
I liked Effie. I did like
yeah,
Effie. Yeah.
yeah, like they were probably my favorite couple, just because they just actually seemed kind of stable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Remy was kind of useless.
Yeah. Tia says, I think you're supposed to accept his possessiveness because they are meant to be. And yeah, you're right. I mean, since they're not reincarnated, what I mean, is it
Yeah,
reincarnation? Is that basically
yeah,
what it is?
that's kind of what they were implying, I
Right?
think.
Since
Yeah,
they're reincarnated, they're meant to be together. So like Declan couldn't not fight for it because
right.
of they were meant to be.
Yeah.
So Summer, there's one spoiler. They were
Uh,
reincarnated. So
Who's
Declan came back as
Abby?
Abby, and
Or
Lena
Abby?
came back as
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and Lucian came back as Lena, which I didn't get that at all. I mean, like there was nothing that told me Lucian reincarnated as her. Like I could see Abby since Declan was having those dreams and the
Mm,
visions about the baby, but
yeah.
I didn't get how. I mean, except for being blood related to Abby, I didn't really.
Yeah. I kind of missed that. in the whole thing. Like I got the Abby part, but even that was like that's weird to me. I don't know. I don't like it when there's this like junior type of a movie plot. Like the guy's gonna have the baby. It's like
Well, I'm
no,
thinking it was probably like groundbreaking back then, maybe.
probably yeah,
You think maybe it was just kind of like pushing the envelope a little in
yeah.
those times. Berna Berna says I would have thrown the ring back at him, but maybe that is why I'm still single.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. If he bought me a ring like that, Berna, I would have said, "Go. Do you
go
even know me? First of
yeah.
all."
I mean, whatever. People get married quickly, but you know,
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to say I would not marry quickly. I'd
yeah,
want a year or two. Now that I'm 41, now I'm like, no, 3 months
yeah,
max.
yeah. I don't need a
Three
whole
months
family.
is definitely 3 months is definitely enough time to get to know somebody.
Yep.
Julie says she's read Nora Roberts 3 times and has not really enjoyed her writing.
Okay. Now, does Nora Roberts? I don't. I know she's very prolific, but does she write pretty much all paranormal romances, or is she all across the board?
I think she writes across the board. I know she's written some like historical and contemporary and
Okay.
paranormal, but I've only read a few Nora Roberts, and that was years ago, so I don't remember. But I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
Summer is reading a Nora Roberts book right now. I think, and was Emily Novell Novels? I think she might have been reading one.
Oh, hmm. Does she also write mystery, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think she does write mysteries
Oh,
or like romantic suspense,
oh, okay, okay,
maybe.
yeah, sure. I forgot about that subgenre. I'm not sure what I think of that subgenre yet.
Oh, she writes under J.D. Robb too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to think of because I was like, I know she has a pseudonym. Was so. Oh, hello, Sarah. Thanks. My romance friend is here. My romance and knitting enabler is here.
I think she's the romance godmother, right? Isn't that what? Since
Oh
she's
yeah.
introduced so many, she's brought a lot of people over into the romance genre.
Yep. She's the fairy godmother of the romance community. Oh, let's
So,
see.
um,
Okay. Laura says about half of her stuff is paranormal, or just slightly spooky. Her earlier stuff is mostly contemporary. Okay. Huh. See, I read The Search by Nora Roberts years ago. So yeah, I don't. Oh, and then I'm trying to think what. Well, I definitely would have liked to have seen more about Abby and Lucian,
mhm.
and like I've. How did they? I don't even remember now, and I just finished it yesterday. Like, how did they? Because here's another spoiler. Didn't they eventually say that Lucian committed suicide? He didn't.
Well, I was
They
kind of
didn't.
confused about that because at one point it seemed like so Lucian went to get Julian was at a brothel, and Lucian went to get him out, and there a fight ensues, and
Oh,
Julian tries to stab Lucian with a knife, and I thought at one point he stabbed him, and then Julian gets stabbed and killed, and I thought I'd read that Lucian lingered for several days, or at least that's what when Effie I think was doing research. Her research showed that Lucian lingered for several days after with that wound, and then he died. But then later on in the when they kind of like flash back to the 1800s, I think they said that Lucian killed himself. He walked into the pond.
that's okay. I heard both of those things, and yeah, I couldn't. And I thought that, like, okay, the story about him drowning himself was maybe like the put on by the mother or something, to save.
Okay, yeah, to like
Yeah,
hide so that to keep the family from scandal.
right. Um,
Okay.
but then I'm not clear on it. Like, that was the thing that kind of bugged me about the whole premise of it, is I thought, like, what is the goal here? Because we already know, and we already knows that Julian killed Abby. And so, like, I was never really clear on, like, what is Declan's role? And I mean, I kind of got it at the end because, it was to bring the two of them together, blah, 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 and kind of like
Hmm.
reunite or whatever.
Right.
But then they did this whole thing where Abby was mad at Lucian for basically abandoning the child.
Right.
And but yet she wants them to be reunited and get back together. So I was like,
Right.
I was
Yeah.
very confused at the emotions happening, like, you know, and there was no real, like, we never went. Well, I guess we wouldn't because she was already dead at that point. But like, I never got any indication that in any of the back or flashbacks to the 1800s that Lucian would have felt like he betrayed her or something,
Right. Right. Because they didn't
Uh,
show that at all. Because, uh, and I think that's where that storyline kind of, where Nora Roberts sort of messed up because there
mm,
was no real resolution to Lucian and Abby. Because yeah, I thought it was really wrong of him to give up their daughter when he knew that Abby would not have cheated on him. Like even though
right.
Josephine and Julian were trying to convince him, and at one point I think they said that they did have him convinced, but he knew all along that that was a lie. Like he deep down he knew it wasn't, and yet he still gave up their daughter. That was a really jerk thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess, like, if you're going through a depression, which is kind of what I got from
Yeah,
that storyline, that he was just very depressed. I guess I can see that. Um, you know,
right.
I can't, like, 100% fault him if he was, like, not thinking rationally. Um, but then just, I don't know. I just didn't really feel like there was a lot of character development in
Right.
him. I didn't. It just basically jumped from, he finds out that she might have cheated on him and run away with him, to now he's dead.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, I would have preferred to see more of his flashbacks and
Mhm.
less Julian. I didn't obviously didn't care about Julian.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have seen more of. I guess we did get a little bit of it, but I just feel like there could have been a lot more development in that storyline, and I guess that's
Yes.
why I'm saying, like, we were more interested in that than.
Yeah.
than
Oh yeah, and like wasn't Josephine just an awful villain?
Gosh,
She
yeah.
was she was so I mean, she was so bad. But it was like fascinating to see her the
Mhm. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen her character developed more because, yeah, she was super crazy.
yes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
but oh well. Debbie says, "I'm glad I gave her up." Oh wait, I'm glad. Oh wait, I'm glad he gave
Oh,
her
yeah.
the. Oh, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
And they did
Yeah.
say at the end, Abby, I think it's Abby who says something like, it was better for her to be given away and raised in a loving home than there in the hall where she would have very likely have been maybe murdered
Mhm.
also. Yeah.
Definitely probably would have been eventually raped if Julian had stayed alive.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I did think it was really interesting though the way at one point, um, I don't remember who was doing the talking at that point or whose thoughts we were seeing, but I thought it was interesting where Julian, they talk about how Julian raped uh, Abby not because he wanted her or because he loved her, obviously, but because he wanted to break. He wanted to break her, just like he would break anything that that Lucian had. I thought that was pretty. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I liked that part of her development, or that part of the development of the
yes.
character. Yeah. Berna said she thought that Josephine was one of the more developed characters,
Yeah,
which
I
I
think
agree with.
so.
Yeah, because she definitely
Definitely.
saw into her head. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, she didn't have a lot of scenes really, but I feel like you saw a lot of what was wrong with her and like
Yeah.
the thought processes she had.
And there really wasn't a conclusion to because her ghost was also there in the hall, right? Because at one
Yeah,
point they knew Abby was there, but then they realized there was like a an evil spirit there as well, and I think at one point they realized it's Josephine or it has to be Josephine, but there really wasn't a conclusion to that either. I mean, I guess once Declan and Lena come together, I guess it just kind of like broke the curse,
yeah, broke the
maybe
spell. Yeah,
broke the spell, and the ghosts go back to their.
yeah. I would have liked to have seen more from that evil ghost thing. You know,
Hmm.
that like more like trying to thwart them, less about like Lena herself trying to thwart it, and
Yes.
more maybe like the paranormal aspect of
Yeah. You need to be an editor,
it.
Rainy. Yeah, I did like the grandmother.
Yeah, did. Yeah, I really liked her actually. I thought she was I thought she was pretty real. Because even when she ended up giving money to her daughter again, and
Hmm.
Lena was about it, it was like, yeah, but she is her daughter. Like,
Hmm.
no matter no matter what, it's hard to break that, you know. And
Hmm.
some people can, some people do the tough love thing, but I feel like probably more often than not, you don't want to see, or you almost just don't want that conflict, you
Hmm.
know. So, and you don't like, and a lot of addicts, like they will scream at you and tell you they hate you and you're an awful parent, and I mean that can get into your head. So I thought, but she was a really good mom slash grandma to Lena, I
Hmm.
thought. So she was probably my favorite character. Yeah, Berna, I agree. I kind of found the main characters kind of shallow too. uh, I mean, I kind of got Lena's character. Hers had a little bit more depth, but as much as I liked Declan, I didn't feel like he had a lot of um, a lot of depth to him. He
Yeah,
just
no,
was,
he was probably the least developed,
yeah.
don't you think, out of all the characters? Because at least Lena had a back. I mean, he had a backstory, but
It wasn't really anything.
yeah, I
Except,
think Lena had more of a backstory
hmm
than
yeah,
Declan.
yeah, and I feel like Declan too. He didn't have any character growth really.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
just
no.
was through the whole story, and he was kind of like the almost like when he started coming unglued or thinking he was coming unglued, that's when he freaked out because he was like the steady guy who knew what he wanted,
Right.
what was going to happen. And then whenever he started like basically having a baby, and then
Yeah.
he's like, who am I? uh, oh, okay. So let's see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think she was killed at midnight.
okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, that wasn't really like a big factor of the story either. To name the whole thing after it.
Yeah. I do
The
have
thing.
to say the writing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rainy.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. I was.
I was going to say the writing at the beginning. in the was it the prologue? Yeah, the prologue. I thought the writing was really beautiful. So I was like, when I read the prologue, just the description of the bayou and the night and the creatures walking around, I thought, wow, this is beautiful language. So then I was a little disappointed that it changed to more of a contemporary, not contemporary, just the language stopped being as beautiful.
Yeah. And I think I felt like the language was a lot better in the flashback scenes.
Yeah,
So, like, even though, and maybe that was, maybe she meant to do that to try to kind of make a clear
yeah,
delineation
like
between
distinction.
contemporary and the historical. But yeah, I would agree with you. I was like, oh, this is really nice. This is pretty. And then it just went to like normal,
Hmm.
normal great stuff. But let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so it is 3 o'clock. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about with this one? Any final
Uh,
thoughts?
Rainy, did you have a corny moment?
Oh, let's see. Oh,
Was there
yes.
anything that you just found especially corny?
I I forgot to look it up specifically, but there were a lot of things with Declan, and especially the things right at the end whenever it's all like coming together. And I don't have like it specifically, but just their like final coming together when everything like they kiss and they decide that she finally agrees to marry him, and like the whole thing just fairy tale magic. It was a
Yeah,
like that
like all her
movie.
anger, she's
Yep,
mellowed out.
yep. She's
Yeah.
just fine now. She knows that she's the reincarnation of Lucian, and she's uh,
But she's gonna accept her role.
yeah. And just like
Yeah.
her language in that, I was just like, oh my gosh, so great. What about you?
For me, I think it was somewhere in the middle. Was it the first time they are intimate with each other? Um, she has a dragon tattooed
Oh
on her
yes.
thigh, I think. And
Uh-huh.
I think at one point she says to him something like, "It guards the gates."
I didn't get that.
Like that was very, I think, I don't know, that was really a very 90s thing to say, maybe.
Oh,
It was, I mean,
yep.
when was this published in? Sorry, I just spit. I think this was published in 2001, was it?
Yeah, I think it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2001. It just had a very strong 90s vibe. A dragon on your thigh that guards the gates.
Yep. Oh man. Unfortunately, this didn't have nearly the amount of corniness as the Winston brothers and Cletus's sausage. Because I mean, we will never get over that one.
No, that's always going to be funny. And I
As,
need to read book 2 soon.
yeah. Ooh, oh man. Oh, all right. So I guess we will conclude there,
Hmm.
and we will see you at the end of October for our Mimi Matthews, and hopefully we will be better about like telling you when. This is
Yeah,
gonna,
advertising earlier.
yeah. So we're working on it. We're still new at this, so. But I'm glad everybody was able to join us. And yes, oh, and Berna, she knows what I'm talking about with Cletus and his cooking. But anyway, oh, I think I might have lost Angie. Yep, she's gone. So this is a good time to leave. So goodbye, everybody. I will talk to you in our next video. Thanks for joining us. Bye.